treat me terribly at work. I'll leave a note in your P bucket. A few years back, I, 32F, made the mistake of returning to my alma mater, a junior college, to coach with for my former coach and mentor. He was a really bad boss. I now realize he had a lot of narcissistic tendencies, and he totally took advantage of me. By the end of my second year, I was basically doing his job, coaching the team 95% and teaching half of his classes, while he was sitting at home and making six figures. He promised me that he'd pay me a portion of his head coaching stipend in cash. Yes, bad, I know, upon completion of my next season at the college. When it was time for me to collect, he looked at me like I had two heads. Of course, I didn't get it in writing because of how terrifying this dude was, so I had no proof to show. He called me in for a meeting to discuss my question about pay, and it was a total trap. He had the other assistant coach, his best friend, there to triangulate me. I was gaslit, lied to, made to feel like I was wrong, and told, "Good, that sounds like a good idea," when I declared that I quit. I left the pool ashamed, scared, and in tears. A few weeks later, I reported my boss to the college for a whole bunch of stuff, both unethical and straight up illegal. The other coaches and pool staff, all men, backed him and closed ranks. It was proved by a third-party investigator that he did to a lot of the things I blew the whistle on. But since he was tenured, there wasn't much the college could do. He got to remain at his post until he retired a year later. During this time, I continued to work at the school as well as a teacher and had to share a space and office area with him. One day I was in the equipment room and noticed a plastic Easter candy bucket an athlete had brought in months prior. It was on a high shelf near the door. I picked it up and was immediately hit with the smell of urine. There was also a layer of crystals on the bottom. I immediately knew that this bucket was being peed in by my former boss. He probably emptied it into a floor drain. No rinse, no shame, baby. I knew it was him because he had peed in bottles before and because he spit dip into cups and bottles constantly that he just left laying around. Not a new behavior. Obviously, this enraged me. This disrespect, the boldness, the absurdity. The locker room was 50 feet away. He left town for a travel event with the team. I took the opportunity to write a note. "We all know this is your pee bucket. Are you really this lazy?" And leave it in his little DIY slop bucket. He got back, and a day later, the bucket mysteriously disappeared. He had to have known it was me. I didn't get justice the way I wanted or needed. But at the end of the day, I let him know that I saw him, and that someone was on to just how utterly disgusting and entitled he was. That felt like a win.